My name is Ogbonnaya KANU, and in motorcycling, I'm called Photo Daddy. I ride a lot. I belong to a motorcycle club, and now another group where we just ride around the whole country looking at sites, exploring tourism opportunities and all that. I've written a couple of books talking about my adventures and helping people to see that there are more possibilities than they might be taking advantage of. We call it breaking limits. And in my circle, I am known as a to-doer because I to-do. I've always been a person who strives for excellence. So from primary school, you know, the person that is always coming first, yeah, that was me. This desire to do is, I guess, what has brought me to where I am. And like I said, there wasn't any point where it started. It's always been a part of me. Actually, it's my work that took me into motorcycling. I went to see a client who is now like a brother to me. I went to see this man and I was like, how can the engineering director, what's this guy got to do with motorcycling? And when we finished talking about business, we started talking about motorcycling, and that weekend I was with him and he was putting me through the ropes how to ride a motorcycle. So right now, my riding has gotten to the point where I'm more of what you would call the adventure rider. To me, that's like the pinnacle, because you can never end an adventure. There's always something new. I ride now seeking out new places to go to, new experiences to have on my motorcycle. I got married, and shortly after I 2 years later I had my daughter, and shortly after that I started motorcycling. So my family, my kids, I have 2 daughters, they've grown up seeing their father with a motorcycle, so it's nothing strange. They've also gotten used to the fact that he goes off on his motorcycle for a while. We will not see him for 2-3 days, a week, and then he comes back. So they've grown with that. My wife is an adventure person also. She's really not upset or in any discomfort when I go off on my trips, right? In fact, the last major trip we made, she was on the bike with me for, I think we rode together for close to 2 weeks. On one of my trips, I was in the middle of the desert, so to speak, and I realized at that point that if I were to die at that particular place, chances are nobody would ever even find me. If I lost control of my motorcycle and I ran off the road into the desert and I fell off the bike and was incapacitated, nobody will know. They would not even know where to start to look for me. And it brought a realization to my consciousness that we're all inconsequential. And what would I have achieved in chasing this obsession to be successful? And I had a shift in my thinking, and going on, it got progressively broader. That fulfillment comes more from getting to know who you are and how you fit in the overall scheme of things. You know, the Bible refers to how we take care of the parts of our body that are not visible. You can imagine, you dress up your face and all that everyone sees, but the hidden things that nobody sees, when there's a problem, the whole body reacts. And I look at myself that way. What's wrong in being a toenail? A toenail. What's wrong in being a toenail? Nobody sees the toenail in the shoe. What's wrong with that? But let me be the best toenail on the foot. So I share with younger guys, my colleagues, my staff, even my peers. It's not about being visible, in my opinion. It's not about being visible. It's not about being the best at everything. No, just find what role you need to play in your life. Find what role you need to play in the scheme of things. You don't have to be everything to everybody. Maybe your function is in your street. Maybe your function is in your family. As small as that unit is, maybe just 5 or 6 of you, or 4 of you, or 3 of you, maybe that's where your role ends. I don't know. You have to find that for yourself. But when you do find that, then you can be the best that God has called you to be in that place. But unfortunately, what I find is people try to be someone else. They try to fit into the dreams of their parents. They try to fit into the dreams of their friends, into their own dream that is, I don't know, based on I don't know what. And we strive and strive and strive, morning to night, chasing this dream, and we lose out the days, we lose out the time. When we put death, which all of us are heading towards, when we put death in front of us in making the decisions we make on a day-to-day basis, it helps bring things into focus. And in my opinion, this is where we can begin to measure success. Recently I came across something that the guy was sharing his opinions, and he says he prefers to be from the position of I am wrong. I would like to say I don't know, and every day that I live helps me know a little bit more of how much I don't know. So it's not that I know and I want to know more, but every bit of knowledge I have helps me know that there's so much more that I don't know. That way we become less judgmental, less critical of ourselves and others, and we become more appreciative. I like to enjoy my life. I like to live life to the fullest. I've never in my life tried to fit into someone else's expectation. I stopped that a long time ago. And I found in pursuing my own God-given desires, the hunger that God has put in my heart, in pursuing those, somehow I have just turned out to be a blessing to people around. Not trying to be a blessing, but trying to find what role I need to play and playing that role. Somehow I have become a person that is a blessing to others. And that's what I tell people these days, find your space, find the place that you can be you can function. Everybody doesn't have to be first. Do you know that every champion in any sport you can think of has a coach? And nobody sees the coach. Nobody sees the coach. Yeah, in football you might know, but do you know the coach for, let me think, who? Vanessa, what's that tennis player? Serena Williams. If not that they were that popular, you wouldn't know that their coach was their father. But he's never in the spotlight. The champion is there. So having a coach is not the champion. A coach helps the champion actualize his potentials. And what's wrong in being a coach? What's wrong in being a coach? What's wrong in being the slippers of the champion? The champion must wear slippers. What's wrong in being the slippers and be the best slippers you can be? Can you imagine if I'm destined to be the slippers for a champion and I'm trying to beat the ring on his finger. Can you imagine wearing a slippers on your on your finger? It just doesn't work. And that's what I see puts a lot of us under so much pressure. Everybody wants to be a ring. With regards to riding, and like I mentioned, I always wanted to do more and more. So started first riding around Nigeria, then riding to West Africa, then riding to Europe and back. Always looking for a challenge, something new to challenge me. And that saw me riding to Europe. Like I said, I got as far as Germany, Italy, and then rode back to Nigeria. The following trip was a trip that saw me coming from South Africa back to Nigeria. The one after that saw me riding around the US, and that for me was really mind-blowing. I rode 25,000 kilometers in 5 weeks. It was so much riding I did that my ears got bruised from the helmet rubbing against them. Yeah. Now my riding has focused more on what I can do in Nigeria, and I find that there's still so much available. Fear, danger, all these things to me are in our minds because we don't have a very firm or legit, clear understanding. Yes, there are dangers. How many of these dangers are within our control? So with the right attitude, in my opinion, right, and knowing who you are, that danger won't stop you from, doing what you need to do. You can do your intel reconnaissance and still go for it. There was a time I was riding in northern Nigeria, and we stopped to take pictures. I didn't know that just beside where we stopped was a military formation, and we're there taking pictures, and I heard, "Hey, who goes there? Who goes there?" Weapons drawn, pointed at us. The soldiers approached us, and we said, we didn't know what's going on. And you will not believe it, by the end of 5-10 minutes, we're exchanging phone numbers. From having guns pointed at us to exchanging phone numbers. You can't wish away what actually happens around Nigeria. You can't wish it away. It's real. When you go around, you see so many things, and it's real. What people go through, it's real. Appreciating the dangers, those dangers, allows you understand how to handle them better, and they all get handled. So this is what my riding has been all about: doing things I've not done before, riding to places I've not ridden to. I've ridden in over 30 countries in the world, and I tell you, I'm now tired, so to speak, because I've gone through so many cultures, so many languages, done all of that, and like, it's not new anymore. The 31st country, it's not really going to be so much different for me as the second or third country I visited. So my riding now, focus more riding in Nigeria, and I am seeing, do you know how many waterfalls are in Nigeria? You'll be amazed how many waterfalls, how many bridges, how many national parks. Nigeria has national parks. Yeah, that's the direction my riding is taking it now. To cap it, I always ask people, what do you consider to be extraordinary? Extraordinary doesn't have to be something really big. Extraordinary is ordinary with a little extra. That extra could be so little and becomes extraordinary to you. Some time ago, this is where it changed for me. A friend of mine, I drove into his office with my car, and he asked me, "What do you think about this car?" And I said, "I've had it for like 2 years. I'm almost done with it." I said, "Do you know that if you don't have use of this car for 2 or 3 days, you would feel different?" And he opened my mind to who the individual that he calls the international spoiler. Yeah. You can have your own name for him, but that guy, his job is to devalue the things that you have and make them appear common. I thought about it and I realized, hey, this car is actually a very good car, and I'm actually in a place where I don't value it anymore. That helped me move out from, or move back to being content, because I'd probably set my eyes on something bigger and I lost the value for what I had at the moment. I wasn't content anymore. I don't see being content meaning that I don't want more. Being content to me means that what I have still has tons of value, and all you need to do is think about how your life would be if you don't have that thing that you look. Take for example the health we enjoy. If you don't have the health you enjoy, you will be very, very appreciative of not having to go to the hospital every day. So being content to me is key. Being content has helped me move away from that and be in a place where everything I get from someone is with thanks. I tell my wife, yeah, don't tell how. I tell my wife, well, you have to value what we have. Yeah, I'm not perfect as a husband. I might not be meeting all the boxes, ticking all the boxes, but if you look at what you have in me, then it's easier to appreciate. And that's the way I also address my relationship with her. She's the closest person to me that I have, and it helps. We can get to a place where we don't value what we have. We don't even see it as a blessing. Some people can't even breathe, and we breathe freely without needing to carry a bottle of oxygen, and yet it's like we don't value or appreciate it. Being content is key.